Touchdown Badgers! Woo! Unbelievable! Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of HaugoMATH video. In this episode we're going to take a look at Bucky Badger and all the push-ups that he does and how that relates to quadratic relationships. Go Badgers! Did you know that Bucky the Badger does a push-up for every point on the scoreboard after Wisconsin scores? So if they scored 6 touchdowns with extra points, the score would be 42-0. But along the way, you'd see Bucky do all these amounts of push-ups. But what I really want to know is, what would this look like as an equation? So we have a little tricky situation here where it's a quadratic relationship. We've identified that the second differences are the same, but how can we write this equation? Well, it's going to be in the general form for a quadratic relationship, so we're going to have to use systems to help us out here. So let's pick some data points and start building the system so we can solve it. Okay, so we've pulled our 3 data points from our table, 0, 0, 1, 7, and 2, 21. And now we'll start slotting in each x coordinate into the x position and the y coordinate into the y position and start building our equations for our system. And this will be how we figure out our a, b, and c values for our general form quadratic equation. So putting the first x coordinate into the x positions here and here, we'll zero out the first 2 terms, which must mean that the c term has to be 0 because the y coordinate is 0. And 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. For the second data point, when I use the 1 for the x, I'm getting 7 for the y. So 1 goes here, and the 7 goes here. So 1 squared is 1, so we have 1a. 1 times the b makes 1b, plus 0 for c makes 7. And for our last data point, when the x is 2, the y will be 21. So put the 2 in for the x, and 2 squared is 4, so 4 times a. Put the 2 in for the x here, and that's 2 times b, or 2b, plus 0 again, will now equal 21. So at this point, to figure out the a and the b, I'm going to use the elimination method for systems. So I need to eliminate one of my terms. So let's multiply the top equation by 4. So now I have 4a plus 4b equals 28. Our a terms will cancel out. The b term would simplify to 2b, and that equals 7. Divide that out, and it tells us that b equals 3.5. So now we'll just substitute in the 3.5 in for the b value, and 1 times 3.5 is 3.5. We'll subtract 3.5 on both sides. That tells us that 1 times a is 3.5, which means the a also has to be 3.5. So now we're set to fill in our general form for a quadratic equation. The a value is going to be 3.5, the b value will be 3.5, the c is 0, so we can forget that is even there, and now we have ourselves a quadratic equation. Man, this lesson's been so satisfying, just like a Wisconsin Badger touchdown. See you next time, everybody.